What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about IGN making some moves, making people mad, and honestly, I'm kind of confused about it too. I don't know how other, higher entities didn't step in here, but I want to go over the news, and I want to talk about what I basically see happening. I guess consolidation is not just for the gaming industry in terms of the games. We talk often about how maybe in the next 5 or so years, there's only going to be, what do you want to say, 7 or less publishers, on planet Earth. I guess for gaming entertainment coverage for the journalists of the world, I guess that is also happening. So what we have here is actually a short little article from Games Industry Biz, and I think what's actually more funny than anything is that I believe they're included in this, and they're covering, and this is, I think, the one that's being kind of spread the most. So IGN Entertainment has acquired the Gamer Network family of digital brands for an undisclosed sum. As a result of the acquisition, some redundancies have been made across the UK-based organization. Now, what's in the Gaming Network? what's in the Gamer Network's publication? Well, this site, Game Industry Biz, Eurogamer, which includes 6 local language editions, Rock Paper Shotgun, VG247, and Dicebreaker. The business also holds shares in Outside Xbox Digital Foundry and Hookshot, which operates Nintendo Life, Push Square, Pure Xbox, and Time Extension. And then they go into basically what IGN kind of already owned. I didn't know they had How Long to Beat. I didn't know that was like their own thing. I guess it wasn't. They bought them. And that's pretty much it. I think what's important to note is the redundancies. So, look, I don't know how many people they're laying off, but if you really boil it down, and it's not so easy as boiling it down, but this is where I can't believe certain entities didn't step in. IGN, or whatever financial organization you want to say, right? They buy all of these sites and they lay people off. Now, it's not everybody they're laying off, and it sounds like it's only some people in the UK, but, doesn't that scream like you need to intervene? And I'm not, look, if you want to be the Wild West and you want to do whatever you want and get away with whatever you want, I guess that's the way they can play it. I really could care less. Honestly, I got to be real. Honestly, from me sitting back here, I do a lot of different things. I don't care, really what happens to the majority of these sites. But it just feels weird to me that you buy sites that basically do the same thing as you, and then you're probably going to lay off a good amount of them because it's like, well, why would you need most of them anyway? No, maybe you would keep most and lay off just a few, right? But we don't really know. And people are also kind of flipping out on the individual, pick your favorite one. So I've seen a lot of people talking about Digital Foundry. Now, honestly, I don't watch them much, but I think their contribution and what they do, honestly, if we're going to be real, right? You look through all these different things. A lot of them are repeats of each other. You might have your favorite site or layout or editors, or, whatever. But I think literally Digital Foundry, in terms of what they specialize in and their value, I really think they're quite different. If we're even just being kind of nice about it, right? I think they're quite different than the rest of the group, and they really should be the one, I would honestly say, that would be untouched. Well, I don't really watch them. I see many tweets about them. I've seen clips of their videos. They provide a lot of value, I think, to a lot of people. But even for me, I've said this before. Look, I go on Twitter a lot. I get a lot of my news from Twitter, which, sometimes that's from some of these sites, I guess, to be fair, right? I have a few sites that I go on. Some of them are actually in this list and some of them are not. But I'll tell you right now, Push Square, that is one I go on. I actually really, really like Push Square. Pure Xbox is basically the Push Square equivalent, so I do like them as well. Nintendo Life, I do think, has inherent value. I don't really go on it all that much, but those would be the two. Outside Xbox, is that the YouTube channel, by the way? I think it might be. I've watched a couple, if that's true, and if my brain is functioning as it should. I've actually watched several of their videos, and I think they're fun people and kind of have a good amount of charisma to them. So, I would say, to be honest with you, while I don't care about many sites, and I'm not on that many sites, some of them actually are on this list. So I hope that they're okay, specifically the ones I mentioned, Push Square, Pure Xbox, maybe just those two. Again, Digital Foundry, I think, provides a lot of value to it. But it's going to be interesting because it's literally, I guess it's the gaming industry in terms of, again, Microsoft buying everything and Tencent buying everything and all that stuff. It's like that, but in the, entertainment coverage medium side of things. I don't know what you want to call it, right? These game journalists, less and less of them, I imagine. See, the thing is, gaming journalism with the basic sites, they really are dying off. I think some have really figured it out. I've actually complimented, although I don't really like them overall, GameSpot. I think GameSpot has actually done a really good job on the YouTube side of things. You see some of their coverage, and they kind of have stolen like classic video-like things from other people and just do it on their own. But you know what? They get millions upon millions of views. I think they've actually done a really good job of kind of capitalizing and spinning off, where they're not just relying on the site, because I do think like the ad model and all of that jazz, right? I think it is going away. Like, it's not as sustainable as it was. So I guess the scary thing is there's going to be less sites than there were. They're all going to be owned by the same people. And then, you don't need as, like, literally what I just said, then you don't need them all. You have 12 sites and 8 of them generally do the same thing. Do you need all 8? Do you need all the workers in all 8? And to be honest with you, a lot of those people don't even make that much money. Like, some of them do. And, like the IGN employees, like, there's some good salaries out there. But something like a Push Square, or, I go on PlayStation Universe, I think that's also a good one. Some of it is like freaking charity. Like, those people don't even get paid, and if they do, they don't make a lot of money. Again, I actually have some respect for some of these people, right, or some of these sites. So, maybe, hey, you know what? You keep some of them because they're cheap, and maybe do you lay off some of the people that cost you like $120,000 a year, when some of them maybe just do it as a freaking charity case. I don't know. It's going to be really interesting, I guess, to see. I'm not a huge fan. Look, and I've said this before with gaming, right? I'm not a huge fan of like one publisher owning 1,000 studios, or doing all these buying things. I get that's kind of the way that it is, and, when Microsoft has done it and stuff, that's basically been my stance. I would like for these studios to remain independent. I don't want them getting bought up. But if it's the way that it's gotta be, I guess, there's literally nothing you or I can do about it. You know what I mean? Like, we literally just sit here and just kind of watch it happening. So I would honestly still have that same stance here. I think just as like where my morals are, right? Like where that stands, I think they should all be left alone. I think they shouldn't have really been bought anyway, because, but at the same time, hey, maybe some of them would have shut down anyway. Maybe they were close to just laying off all these people, and maybe in a weird way, IGN saved them. Now, we don't know that, but that could have happened, or maybe it's a mixture of both. Maybe they are going to lay off people, but they're not going to lay off as many people as, were going to be laid off if they didn't buy them. We don't really know. So it's just going to be interesting to see, I guess, what happens to a lot of these. And again, pick your favorite site or your favorite people or whatever, and just, I guess, pray that they're going to be okay. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on. I hope to see you all on the next one.